a few days ago, 3 days ago, pro-Iranian militias tried to storm the American embassy in Baghdad, and they wrote graffiti on the walls that Qasem Soleimani is our leader. They chanted pro-Iranian slogans, and they were posing as Iraqi protesters. And the Americans responded this morning with an attack against his convoy out of Baghdad airport, killing him and an Iraqi Hashd leader, PMF, Popular Mobilization Force leader, and also a Hezbollah leader from Lebanon. The three of them were in a two-car convoy, and they were hit with apparently, we don't know exactly how this strike took place, but they were hit with missiles, and the three of them are dead now.
What can you tell us about the background of General Soleimani?
General Soleimani is the leader of what the IRCG, the Quds Force, a force that's been responsible for exporting the revolution, the Iranian revolution, to other areas around the Middle East, and he's been a staunch enemy of the United States and of the West, and he's responsible for many attacks that took place in the past, especially in Iraq, since the start of the protests. He is the one, according to all news reports and leaks and information from the Iraqi government, he is the one who's been masterminding the crushing of the protests of the Iraqi people who are calling for good governance and better services and better government. Many Iraqis see him responsible for the killing of around 600 people and the injuring of nearly 20,000 people.
Now, President Trump has been unusually reticent, and so far there's just been an image of the American flag after the news broke. What has the reaction been from Iran, Hiwa?
Iran, the supreme leader of Iran has said that he will respond to America. He will take the revenge of Qasem Soleimani in a very strong way. We still don't know what he means by that. And Iraqis generally are quite worried. On one hand, they are happy for the demise of Qasem Soleimani. And on the other hand, they are quite worried that their country becomes the arena for a conflict between the USA and Iran.
Yeah, I personally think that there's no difference whatsoever between what Donald Trump is threatening to do and a terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is my issue with this. I heard you mention not long ago that Soleimani should have been killed, and the USA kind of has a right to do all of that.
Well, I don't know about but I understand why they did it.
Yeah, and it's understandable. He's a bad guy, but there's many, many bad guys around the world, and even much more so hypocritical for Donald Trump to be talking about him as a bad guy, because Donald Trump cuddles up to so many bad guys. I mean, there's so many reasons why Kim Jong-un should be, for instance, murdered and killed, or for instance, Putin, for instance. So many reasons for that, right? And it can be evidenced in so many different ways. However, he cuddles up to them. He loves them. He says, he's my friend. He's whatever it is. But when it comes to this situation, he feels he has the right to do so.
Well, he has mixed messages about them, doesn't he? Bear in mind, he refers to the Kim Jong-un as Rocket Man as well. But go on with your point.
Yeah, my point is absolutely this. I personally think that he shouldn't have taken the action to actually assassinate a state leader, essentially.
Why?
Because it puts us in a much more, puts loads of Britons, of Americans in a much more vulnerable position.
You don't believe that the Iranians were behind the attack on the embassy, or inspired the attack on the embassy?
At this stage, I don't think there's evidence to kind of prove that. I think there's loads of people kind of saying the Iranians were behind it, and to be honest, right now it's really there's America or even our government right now doesn't have trust to kind of believe what they say, and this is from what Donald Trump has been saying. He himself has been saying that don't trust the intelligence services, and then he turns around and tells us, oh no, trust the intelligence services. We're not going to give you the evidence as to why it was an imminent attack, but
you allow this general to go around plotting
But
attacks on Americans and indeed on Brits for that matter, on Western. You just allow it continually.
We allow many people to do that. Like I said, we allow Putin to do that.
Okay.
We allow Kim Jong-un to do that. We allow. It's about.
When did Kim Jong-un or when did Putin last inspire an attack on a U.S. embassy?
Not a U.S. embassy, but for instance, on U.S. citizens, like the last person that died in North Korea, the student. Right, there's so many instances where these people have influenced.
This general, there's the blood of 600 U.S. and British troops on his hands.
Yeah. There's so many people who have the blood.
Well,
of more
okay,
than
all right. So this seems to be your argument then. Yeah, okay. Unless we can kill all of them, we don't kill one. All right, do it your way. Just let the guy walk free, because of course he was going there to bring about peace. He's a well-known peacemaker. He's Mother Teresa. I'm surprised, actually. He and Greta Thunberg weren't People of the Year, joint People of the Year last year.
No, he's not Mother Teresa.
Well, he is, obviously, because you wouldn't, for the love of God, you wouldn't want to hurt a hair on his head, would you?
He's not. So what you're basically advocating then is for us to kind of go around killing all the bad guys?
No, not killing all the bad. Then? No, because Kim Jong-un is not, I try again, is not, to my knowledge, inspiring attacks on US or indeed British embassies or military personnel.
And he is knowledge, not. Is the Iranian, did he inspire that?
Yeah.
To your knowledge?
To my person, no. Obviously, I have to go from intelligence reports. But the fact that, and you can all say that, of course, America is lying, but that the British government also says that this was a man who's inspired terror attacks against British military personnel is enough for me. There seems to be, Mr. Ambassador, a walking back from the brink, both in Washington and in Tehran. Would you agree with that? And if so, where do you see it going next?
I don't know if I would characterize it as walking back from the brink. I think the president has already made it very clear in his statement the other day. It was his 7-minute or 8-minute statement, I think, which was pretty well received. He's always been ready to talk about peace, and he's willing to have conversations with the Ayatollah and with the people in Iran that want to talk and release these sanctions if we can get something that will solve the problem that JPOA could not solve.
So the offer's still there. The phone, he's looking at the phone, ready for it to call. He's ready to try and work this through.
He wants peace. He wants peace. The president wants peace. He doesn't want these endless wars to go on.
Right.
We've had a dispute with Iran now for over 40 years. And it's time to bring it to an end.
Is it the action of a president who wants peace to kill the commander of the revolutionary forces? Is that a peace-loving action, Mr. Ambassador?
I think it is when his sworn duty is to protect Americans.
You have no doubt American citizens' lives are on the line because of his arrival at Baghdad.
I have no doubt, based on what this person had done over the decades. They're very well known, and there's no indication that he was stopping when he was at Baghdad.
And just staying in Tehran, some would say, well, this will mean now that the work that Obama did in the nuclear pact will now be ignored and Iran will now continue to develop. Others would say, well, if you believe that they were not doing that anyway, that's for the birds. Where are you on that, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, I think the bird element is pretty accurate. I don't think this comprehensive agreement was very comprehensive. I think the president said that, and saying that he's abandoned the agreement, and he's asking our allies also, the signatories of that agreement, to abandon that agreement because it's not working, and to have the courage to go in and have direct negotiations now rather than with that agreement, keeping with that agreement, the remedies prescribed in that agreement, to just abandon that agreement and go for something that's more comprehensive and will attack, the malign activities that were in the region and also the development of the bomb. The president has said, not on my watch. You're not going to get a bomb on my watch.
And he does seem to be a man of his word, doesn't he?
He appears to be, he's doing what he said, what he campaigned on. He's lived up to it. He's very cognizant of everything he promised. And if you follow what his campaign messages were, he's doing everything he promised.
It's interesting you talk about campaigning because there are some commentators in the US who say this would, if it were not an election year, the strike on Soleimani would never have taken place. Is that fair?
No, not really. I mean, this is good journalism, to bring these things up and discuss them. But no, I don't think it is.